Hi, I'm Peter Rose, founder of Longwood Currency Trading. How to make $10,000 a month trading Forex with no fear. How do you do that? Well, the simple answer is you learn how to make $100 a month first by learning how to trade, not by trying to learn how to follow someone's engulfing candle pattern or how to use friggin' Fibonacci's or whatever. Because that's not trading, that's following somebody else's system. It's like Truman Capote said about, I think it was Jack Kerouac's, they said, what do you think about Jack Kerouac? And he goes, that's not writing, that's just typing. And that's what you're doing in trying to learn how to trade currencies if you're listening to all this gibberish out there. What's a good education? Look at the education that you had, or that maybe you didn't have a good education, but you understand what a good education should be. That's why you went to high school at least, and you saw that there was a progressive learning process. You have to take math in high school, right? So you learn some math and all that other kind of. Why don't they teach you calculus in freshman year, or differential equations, which are far more complex? Well, because you have to learn arithmetic first. You have to learn mathematics first, arithmetic. Then you have to learn algebra. Then you have to learn some trigonometry. Then you have to learn some geometry. And then maybe you can start learning some calculus. They don't teach you the calculus right away because you don't have enough background knowledge or information in order to do that. They have to build that foundation for you. Trading is the same way. I'm an educator. I've been involved in the martial arts for 55 years. I've taught thousands of people martial arts and self-defense. And you don't come in the door learning how to do a jump, spin, reverse, roundhouse kick. You come in the door to learn how to punch, to develop power. That's the first thing we teach you. How to develop power. Some basic thing that's simple to learn. And it's that simple thing that you learn that you can then mention something else to them that's related, and they go, oh, I understand that. And then you build on that. And you gradually build this base, and you get that base to the point where you say, okay, now we want you to do X, Y, Z. And they go, well, I've never done that before. Okay, well, let's think about it. The thing that I'm asking you to do is simply composed of a bunch of these small pieces that we've built our foundation with. How do you think that you would do that? How do you think you would get your body to do that? And they go, okay. And then you work with them to solve that problem, because you're not teaching them that, you're working with that person to solve that problem, so that when the next problem comes up, they don't ask me, they figure it out for themselves based on the principles that you've given. That's why I say when I teach simple principles in a process-oriented manner. Those are critical hallmarks of a good educational program. Principles in a process-oriented manner. Not random shit that you're going to have to put together. That's like trying to learn a foreign language by just using a dictionary. It's just not going to happen. So how do you make $10,000 a month trading Forex with no fear? You learn how to do it with $100, because when you start learning, you're going to lose $100. And you may lose another 100. You may lose another 100. But each time you lose, that's an opportunity to learn. If your teacher or whoever your guru is isn't teaching you the losing part first, they're doing you a disservice. Because if you don't know how to lose, you damn sure aren't going to be able to figure out how to win. Jesse Livermore said that. The only way to get an education in the markets is invest your cash, track your results, and learn from your mistakes. It couldn't be any clearer than that. And so our trading, if you jump ahead and you look at where you have the capability, the bank size and skills and the knowledge and all that stuff in order to theoretically make $10,000 a month or $100,000 a month or whatever your bank is going to allow you to trade, don't you think that your anal sphincter is going to go like that if you're not confident in what you're doing? If you don't have a good solid base of understanding? So that's really what you need to be thinking about when you're looking at somebody's educational program, or you're looking about what books you're reading, or what kind of educational content you're consuming. What is the basis of that education? And for the goal that you have to reach in your trading, what are the key principles that you're going to need to learn? You don't need to learn how to do reverse staging or compounding or what Bob's doing, or looking at somebody's newsletter, or how somebody is crafting their, like I said, their engulfing candle pattern or something. That's just random sporadic information. Everybody's going to trade differently using different things. But the underlying concepts of trading, if the person knows what they're doing, remain the same under all traders. If you look at the greatest investor in the world is Warren Buffett, from an investor standpoint. And you know what his rules are, how you invest? Don't lose any money. Rule number 2, rule number 1. Well, can't get any easier than that. And people go, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense, blah, 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 blah. But it really is that simple. Don't lose any money. If you don't lose any money, then what's the opposite of that? Oh, you must be making money. So why don't you learn how not to lose money? And how are you going to learn how not to lose money? You need a competent mentor to show you how to do that, so that you're sure that you're learning each step of the way. How do you do that? I do it through metrics and working with someone to understand what trading metrics are, what trading is first, and then how you judge the success of that trading. It's like in real estate. I spent 40 years as a real estate investor. Return against investment, ROI, is a key factor. It just takes maybe 5 years for that to make any sense. In currencies, we're very lucky, particularly when you're learning to do this as a day trader, because you can buy a lot of houses in a day, and in currency trading, you make a lot of positions in a day. There's 12 opportunities an hour on the 5-minute chart to make some sort of trading decision, whether that's a position management decision or an actual entry-level decision. It's not that you have 12 opportunities to get in an hour. It's that you have 12 opportunities an hour on a 5-minute chart to see what that candle is doing in comparison to what the previous candles did. If it's not moving as much in the direction that it was moving in before that caused you to take your trade, then you need to get out. And if you don't get out, you end up losing. Now, if there's nobody there to alert you to the importance of that, or you don't have some sort of a written confirmation of that, oh, geez, my trading ratios were blah, 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 but over the last 10 trades, they've gone completely to shit. What have I done over the last 10 trades to screw that up? That's how you learn how to trade without fear. And you do it on a $1,000 account, trading a mini lot at $1 a pip. And look, margin in the U.S., I don't know where you're at right now, but margin in the U.S. on a mini account, 5% of the cash value, you might need $600 or $700 just as a down payment in order to trade. So you need about $1,000 to put that trade on, because that'll give you $400 of runway. Well, at $1 a pip, that's that's 400 pips. So $400 at 400 pips at $1 a pip. Well, if you take your stop loss and you limit that to $10, that would be 44 trades that you lose 10 pips. Well, Don't you think you'd learn something? Well, maybe not, because 90% of the traders lose 90% of their money in 90 days. Why is that? It's because of the education. You're not stupid. You just don't know what to do. So the first thing you need to learn what to do is to recognize what an error is, what is a mistake. And the only way you're going to recognize it is not by listening to some fool talking about his engulfing candle pattern and why it's a success. That's crazy, because that doesn't work. Once you get more experienced, take one of those videos you've seen of some guy with an engulfing candle pattern or golden cross or a fib crap or a Bollinger Band exercise combined with an RSI or something, and you go look at that chart and you look at what that thing was, and you'll see that there are multiple instances of where that information that they're providing could have occurred on that chart, but they picked this one. Why did they pick this one and it worked out and not the rest of these? It's because they picked that based on their trading skill, not because of a Bollinger Band. It just, look, I got a degree in physics, almost a minor in math. I didn't just fall off the back of the truck here. You're making your life much more complicated than it needs to be in learning how to trade currencies by filling your head with all of this information, because you're trying to trade then the same way you would be trying to learn a language, like I said, by reading a dictionary. You can't use the dictionary to learn how to trade. You need to say, hola, and you wave your hand and somebody goes, he's saying hello, me llama es, and oh, my name is. You learn that. That's the important thing. Donde está el baño? Where's the bathroom? That's what you need to know. And so when you're learning trading, why would you learn what a Bollinger Band is? Why would you learn all this exotic stuff about ECN broker versus... it's just... Will you need to know that stuff later? Probably not. Because once you start making money based on the limited scope of information that you're using, you're building your trading ability based on that information. Why would you want to add to it? My problem right now is finding the fact that I'm interested in the macroeconomics of things, and I come out of a real estate background where fundamentals and all that other stuff is critical in your success. And that clashes directly with what we need to do when we're trading in the currency market. And so I get stuck all the time and lose a lot more money than I should because of that impingement. Now, because I lose money in it doesn't mean that you would, because you don't have that same background experience. But because I do and I understand what's happening, I can make sure that you don't have that problem. And I've also been around this stuff long enough to know what other problems it is that are major for you to understand how not to lose money on. Once you learn how not to lose money, you learn what to do, right? That's what, again, Jesse Livermore said. When I figure out all the things not to do, what's left is what to do. And then you go from there. But you want to learn it on a non-cost to you basis. You're not going to do that if you take a $10,000 or $20,000 account. You're losing $100, $200, $300 when you get your entry wrong. That's going to hurt. Take a $1,000 account with a dollar a pip, you lose 10 pips, you lose $10. You do that 3 times during the day, you've lost a pizza. That'll start to stick. You say, well, why did I lose three times today? What caused me to lose the 3 times? That cost me a pizza. I'd much rather have it cost me a pizza than a small car. How do you make $10,000 a month trading Forex with no fear? Learn how to trade a small account so the losses don't cripple you financially, but they'll still sting you if you get it wrong. A pizza. You try to take a pizza away from me, you're going to get your hand chopped off. Okay, I don't know about you. You are not learning how to make dollars. You need to learn how to make pips. And you learn what not to do. So that in the long run, which could be, I'll work with someone, maybe a month or 3 months, if they're doing a course with me. It takes us about a month or so to go through the material. You can read the course in 40 minutes, you know, but that isn't enough. You can't go into high school and read the book and come in and take the test. You need the teacher there to guide you to the stuff that's important. That's why you need a mentor. If you're not having the success that you feel that you should be having, and you've been trading for more than 6 months, then you better find a mentor. Because otherwise, you're going to convince yourself that you know how to trade and you're going to work, and everything is going to work out because of, I don't know, the trading gods will speak in your favor, and all of a sudden you'll find yourself with $30,000 or $40,000 in your account. You won't know how you got that much money, and you'll make a mistake and it'll cost you your account. Where are you going to come up with $20,000 to rebuild that account? If it took you 3 or 4 years from your job to come up with that money to create that $20,000 account, and you lose it, it's tough to come back from that. There are steps that you need to go through, even if you're an experienced trader. I don't work with beginners, by the way. If you don't know what a PIP is, or you haven't traded a live account for at least 3 or 4 months or 6 months, I can't help you. I don't really have the consulting that I provide isn't going to be of value to you as a beginner because you have no reference. You've got to be bloodied up a little bit before you really convince yourself that you need somebody to kind of shine the light along the path for you. And once you get to that point, then maybe the stuff that I have to say is going to be valid for you. I would hope it would be valid for you. And it shouldn't take you 10 years to do it. 1 to 3 months. Oh, I've run into that problem before. Why am I hitting that problem? Well, this is the reason you're hitting that problem, because this is what the problem is. Now, if we can solve that, work together and solve that, then that's not a problem anymore. So if you lose money against that, you'll simply be on you, on your fault. Not because you didn't know what not to do. You chose to do that in defiance of the trading gods, and you will be punished. When I started trading a large account, and I lost a lot of money, if you go back into my videos, I've told that story quite a few times. I had to step back from it. I lost $40,000 in a very short period of time. And I had to step back from it and say, wait a minute, you're not solving the problem the right way because you don't understand what the problem is that you're trying to solve. And I don't think that most folks do. They just get in and they think the problem is learning how to difference between a limit order and a market order. You have to identify what that problem is. And as soon as I figured out what the problem was, my job career was software engineering for 33 years. We understand how to take complex systems and break them down into simple, solvable pieces, and then learn how to put those pieces together in an orderly, chronological fashion through effective communication between the two problems. You solve this problem, it's got to communicate information to the next problem solution. That problem solution takes that information, it's the correct information, it does what it's supposed to do, and it spits out a result to the next solution in the step. And as soon as I realized that I was solving the wrong problem, the 3 rules came to me, and I've used those rules ever since. And they're, in software engineering, what we call extensible, so they're not based on a engulfing candle pattern or any of that crap, because all that stuff changes when the markets change. Those rules are based on trading principles, and that's why I say I teach principles in a process-oriented manner. And that's what you need to look at if you're going to be able to make $10,000 a month or $100,000 a month with no fear. Peter Rose, Longwood Currency Trading. Have a great day and have a great trading day.